A really unique thing about UVM, it's a huge training institution, but at the same time, it's very small and we all know each other.
Going to a small program brings such incredible benefits.
Was looking for a more close-knit environment where I could establish mentors, and I absolutely fell in love with the program and Burlington in general.
So happy here. On Monday morning, I'm walking down the hallway and one of my attendings calls me by name and says, "Booms, how was your weekend?" That just goes to show the type of atmosphere that we have here.
This is the right place. It was just that feeling that you, like nowhere else could do the same. So we're staying for 3 more years and would like to stay long term.
It really is something special that is unmatched in other places. The people are what make the program so spectacular.
The culture of University Vermont Medical Center is very collaborative. Everybody's on the first name basis.
I came from a medical school that had so many residents that I felt that sometimes people got lost in it, and I wanted to prioritize my learning. Coming to UVM for residency, we have 7 residents a year in our pediatrics class. Every single attending knows my name. We have like assigned mentors, but really every single one of the attendings is really your mentor. You're never lost. You're never without someone who can guide you, whether it be in your clinical life or whether it just be in your personal life.
There are people who are really well respected within the field and they're kind of high up in a lot of organizations. So if you express interest in any area, they will help you pursue that interest. Sometimes kind of in a frustrating way. Like if you mention something about research, they will come to you with 3 research projects.
I got to see a bit how the GME worked on the backside and saw the level of commitment that these physicians had for their trainees. It was really pretty inspiring to see the extra work that they put in on a regular basis, advocating and working for their trainees.
And at the same time, just the connections on a much higher national level have been really beneficial in just networking. And you're small enough that if you express interest in going to a national conference or representing the state or the program in any way, it's very easy to do that.
Yeah, I think residents here have not just access to faculty, but I think the expectation of a real relationship with faculty, just natural mentorship that happens really organically, but at the same time extremely deliberate by our faculty. I think they are actively seeking, how can I help my residents and fellows? And they do a very good job of it.
You know, I was a trainee here and it was amazing. You're not a number, you're actually a person, and so you get to know people within the institution and they get to know you, see what your skills are, and help advance you.
I spent a month on pediatrics and was told that one of the cases that I was doing was a fellow level case. I worked one-on-one with an attending and I was able to do this case that I honestly think at a larger academic center that really would have just gone to the fellow.
People feel safe trying different things and developing professionally here. That's what happened to me. I was granted the opportunity to grow professionally. I'm very grateful for that, and that's true of everyone.
UVM is growing a lot, but this culture of your relationships are more important than your role. And so my favorite thing about the GME is that they don't hear about my issues secondhand and address them by delegating to somebody else. I get to talk directly to the head of the GME.
Our education mission is central to everything that we do. We have an amazing program for global health, and we are committed to making sure that we train the highest caliber and quality of physician that we possibly can.
The UVM Health Network is really centered on being an academic health system. Our residents are a key part of the culture. We also just have a great place to work. It's inclusive, has a sense of belonging. We want everyone to feel safe to bring their true selves, to speak up and contribute.
Our UVM Health Network Diversity, Equity, and Inclusion Strategic Plan really works to embed DEI within all of our operations. And that directly connects to the training that we provide within all of our partner locations throughout the health system. There's a number of educational efforts that focus on cultural humility in healthcare and how we provide care. I have heard feedback that it feels different here, that they actually feel cared about, that when they do experience harm, because they may, but it's more so how will we respond and how are they supported. That is really important to me.
Our catchment area is really big. We're a level 1 trauma center, the biggest trauma center in Vermont. So we take care of patients from upstate New York, from all over Vermont. So we have a lot of socioeconomic diversity. We have some really amazing populations of patients and people who have come from other countries and here for safe harbor.
Pretty much all the children that are coming through our resettlement program are seen by our pediatric residents.
When I see these patients who are coming to the country for the first time, I kind of usually end the visits by telling them of, a little bit about my story, and that my job as their pediatrician is to kind of ensure that they're healthy and that they have all the options to succeed. And I just feel like a good connection with the families, and it's just so amazing.
We have been more closely collaborating with the Transgender Youth Clinic in adolescent medicine for both clinical care as well as educational opportunities for students, residents, and fellows who work with us as well.
Folks can come in and feel comfortable and know that they're in a safe place, and also provide a little opportunity for some community. That, I think, of all the things, is surprising to the residents when they come here, when they recognize the different communities that we interact with on a day-to-day basis.
A big decision point when you're deciding where to go to residency is the size of the program. The closeness with faculty, access to attendings, the continuity with your attendings and patients is a lot higher when you're at a smaller program.
I think people should really strongly consider UVM as a place to train because there is excellent training here, and you can get that excellent training in a place that's easy to live.
It's a beautiful place to live. From the people standpoint, I don't think I've ever met such wonderful, caring people in my entire life.
Just seeing how much growth has occurred and reflecting on that and remembering when they first came in and when they had their orientation and then seeing them graduate is just, it's an amazing thing.
It's kind of a hidden gem, and that's what I've heard people say, and that there are so many opportunities here to hone your skill.
Vermont is an amazing place. It's kind of like a secret. I don't really want to let it out too much, but I won't gatekeep here. If you like food, the outdoors, and friendly people, then this is a great place to live.
I think every reason why we moved to Vermont has been fulfilled fully. I've lived sort of in all different places. Like, I've lived in major cities, I've lived in rural areas, and Vermont is this very unique place, and I don't think the culture here exists anywhere else.
I'm most proud of the fact that when you all graduate, you always remember your training at UVM as the most fun period in your career. And it's very frequent that many of you decide to come back.